Now, we talk a lot about median income stagnation, and I've written a great deal about it over the last decade or so, and of declining income mobility in the United States, in Britain and other countries, and indeed the rise of inequality. And all these are hugely important things. But there is, I think, a deeper crisis of faith, of which these are just facets. And I would call that the doubt about meritocracy. What is it that really provides the rationale, the glue, the validation for our political model? It's the belief in meritocracy. And there has been really a cratering of belief in meritocracy in the last 15 to 20 years across most of the West. And that is a crisis of faith. When religious believers have a crisis of faith, they turn to agnosticism, which I think we see manifested in declining participation, in declining party membership, in declining subscription to newspapers, if I can make a selfish plug. But we also see that manifested in a turn to atheism, which in its political form is really nihilism. It's voting for people who not only attack this system, but attack the ideas that the system is failing to hold itself up to. And Trump is, of course, I think, probably the most virulent manifestation of that. So what has happened to our meritocratic model? Well, if you look at the income mobility numbers, if you look at the declining chances of people born poor to move up to a different income bracket in their lifetimes, and you look at how different it is now to what it was, say, in the 60s and the 70s, when these trends really began to change, you do see a paradigm shift. You do see it becoming much, much less easy to say, look, if you work hard and play by the rules, you will get ahead. So the ability of those who are well off and those who go to the good universities and get good careers to reproduce those advantages for their children, to hoard that social capital for their children for the best of reasons, because they want their children to do well. There's nothing malignant about that impulse. Has, on a macro scale, made it increasingly difficult for people who are not children of the meritocratic elites to break into it. People still do, but on a far, far lower scale, lesser scale than they used to. So it's what I call the rise of a hereditary meritocracy. And this is a crisis of faith in our system, in what it is that we really find vital and valuable about Western liberal democracy.